Hey guys, the month of April is halfway done, and that means we're halfway done with our goal of PMDD awareness. Support your fellow AFABs and those affected with premenstrual disorders. Remember, a premenstrual disorder isn't just PMDD. You know, another one is PME, aka premenstrual exacerbation, which is not PMS. It's where if you have a pre-existing condition like depression or anxiety, your symptoms become worse. And kind of like autism and ADHD, it's very possible to have both PMDD and PME, not just one or the other. I know I tend to focus this campaign on PMDD, but I do want to highlight other debilitating conditions, which you might not know you have or someone around you might have. Donate today, and remember, you are loved, you are wanted, and you got this. Now on with the video.
I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Except I'm a koala.
Really? This works for you? Okay then, people in universe date dogs and aliens and men in the bodies of fish. Maybe a koala really isn't that out of the ordinary, I feel. Hi, I'm Kitty Monk and I'm here to talk to you about American Dad. Or more specifically, Hayley and Reginald and their relationship. Because yes, American Dad had this happen. Hayley did date a koala. Kind of. It's kind of like a Klaus situation, okay? It's complicated, but we'll get there when we get there because we have a lot of context to cover. And I just want to jump right in, so let's discuss. Now, throughout the show, Hayley has had her fair share of men. While her primary boyfriend and later husband was Jeff Fisher, well, she did date around, both before, during, and afterwards. In American Dream Factory, an episode I strangely haven't gotten to yet, Hayley dated Paco, Greg and Terry's dog walker.
What happened to the land of the free? These people have a right to be here.
People? They're parasites sucking on the rich blood of America. And we need that blood to shed for oil.
But the kicker is, Hayley was only really dating him to get back at Stan, because Paco is an undocumented immigrant, and this was back in like 2005, 2006, around there. So of course Stan would dislike him. And since this is Hayley, when Paco doesn't, quote, follow the script, so to speak, since Stan convinced him to break up with her so he could spend more time making bears in Stan's basically illegal sweatshop, well, being the progressive liberal she is, she betrays her morals and calls the authorities on him and his entire family.
That anonymous tip we got was clearly bogus.
Really? Why don't you check the basement, officers? There was a whole sweatshop down there.
So much for being progressive, Hayley. Yay! Oh yeah, just so you know, Hayley is a massive hypocrite. I mean, how could you not know that? That's like her entire character. But the point is, Hayley has a certain double standard when it comes to dating, especially when it comes to breakups. When she breaks up with a guy, it's fine and dandy, and she's got her reasons. I mean, Jeff was clingier than a spider monkey. Of course he isn't proper boyfriend material.
You never challenge me. You just always agree with me.
You're right, I so do that. But I can change.
No, you can't.
You're right.
Plus, he cries a lot. I mean, how dare a man show his own emotions? But when she gets broken up with, you don't want to be around to find out what happens when Hayley gets broken up with. I mean, when she was a kid, she killed a pregnant hamster just because her kindergarten crush did not like her back.
The autopsy showed the hamster was pregnant.
Is it bad I thought for years that Hayley somehow got the hamster pregnant? I was like worried about the logistics of how that happened. What is wrong with me? Well, I mean, you did watch it when you were 12, and the show isn't for kids. Shut up, Catherine. Since this will be important later, as it does relate to Hayley and Reginald, well, Hayley did date Bullock, aka a man who's probably old enough to be her father, probably even her grandfather. Although, it was more of a physical relationship, I'd argue, than any true passion. I mean, Bullock probably thought it was true passion. To Hayley, it was probably just like, he's better than Jeff, and he does well in bed. In Bullock's to Stan, Hayley attends the CIA carnival, where Stan introduces the pair, even though, like, I feel like Stan was in the CIA all his life, so Bullock probably remembers her. Bullock, being the head of the CIA at the height of the Bush administration, causes her to immensely hate him and trade barbs.
Go play ultimate frisbee with your drum circle and leave politics to the adults.
You know, I actually don't play frisbee. I guess the CIA got their intel wrong. Again.
Plus, you're horrible at running the CIA. You couldn't run a spaceship right. Kirk was a much better captain, as was Luffy. Hayley is told by Stan to go over and apologize, and oh boy, does she apologize. Oh boy, does she get down on her knees and just beg Bullock for forgiveness. Oh boy, does she. Kitty, this is a family channel and I thought you were a monk. What the hey? It's not my fault, Catherine. In universe, Bullock does this to screw with Stan, i.e. literally screw with Hayley and then rub in Stan's face that he can rail his daughter all he wants in his own frickin' house and wear her bathrobe in the morning to match.
Say, do you perchance have any Gatorade? I'm afraid I left all my electrolytes with your daughter.
Because he knows Stan won't say or do anything if his possible promotion is on the line. See, Stan is gunning for a big promotion, and that was part of why he wanted Hayley to apologize. I mean, you gotta remember, this is before Stan realized that Bullock and Principal Lewis can never possibly interact because they would cancel each other out and end the universe with how crazy the other is. But Stan does get fed up at the amount of disrespect and objectification that his daughter is subjected to, that he schemes with Jeff for the first time in the show, if it's for Hayley's sake, by making Jeff seem like a much more appealing partner, because earlier, Hayley broke up with Jeff because he wasn't a man.
God, it's so beautiful out here, I want to weep.
That's right, Hayley is progressive, and yet still believes in traditional gender norms. Wow, she really is Stan with boobs. Jeff and Hayley get back together, and Bullock is angered.
Hayley! Hayley, no! Don't do this to me! I'll die without you!
I mean, I feel like probably more so because Hayley did it when he was trying to get Stan confirmed before the Senate. Like, there's being embarrassed in a room full of people, and then there's being embarrassed in a room full of people on national television. So he tells Stan he will get the promotion on the condition he murdered Jeff by pulling a Vice President Cheney, I guess you could say.
Just as soon as you do one last thing for me.
Oh, come on. I've picked up your laundry, I've polished your shoes, I've done everything but bend over backwards for you, and my daughter did that, so I say we count it.
Stan can't go through with it. Hayley shows up. Bullock beats up Jeff pretty badly. So much for the training. And Stan, well, he's been fed up this whole episode and just wails on his boss.
Look, get this through your head, Avery. We are over. I'm with Jeff now.
How dare you talk to me that way, you third-rate tart!
Sir, she is my daughter.
Bullock gives Stan the promotion, which he isn't shown with in any other episode, so Bullock probably just said he'd give it without actually giving it, and to further save face, he lies and says the whole restaurant is full of actors. But okay, sorry for the tangent, how does Reginald fit in? Well, Reggie and Hayley first meet in Reggie's debut episode, Family Affair. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he got the Elijah Michelson treatment. Like, he was only supposed to be like a quick, big-lipped alligator moment, but he was as cute as a button because he is. So they just added him to the show. Family Affair is the episode where Roger cheats on the Smiths with another family, and it turns out he's kind of like the Quagmire of cheating with families, and they act like Roger is seeing another woman behind their back.
Are we not enough for him? Obviously not. I feel so stupid. My woman's intuition picked up on this 5 days ago, and I mistook it for ghosts.
Which, admittedly, the episode itself is hilarious, darlings. It's just that the way it's portrayed, Roger was seeing another group of friends, and I hate to say it, people are allowed to have other friends. They're not chained down. Radical concept, I know, guys. But okay, the two interact, and well...
Mouse, your ticket didn't go to waste. We gave it to that koala bear from the CIA with the brain of a homeless man.
Hey, girl.
Reggie sounds different here. Because he actually is. In this episode and Wife Insurance, he's voiced by Donald Full-of-Love, I think that's how you say it, aka Goldie Wilson in the Back to the Future movies. For the rest of this arc, he's voiced by Eric Durbin, one of the writers. And then the one time he comes back in the TBS era, he's voiced by Arif Sayer, who you might know as the current voice of Cleveland in Family Guy. But before we do anything, let's get to Reggie's backstory. Why is this koala talking up to Hayley? And why is he walking and talking like a man? Well, there's a reason. Reginald is a Klaus situation, but a lot more consensual with a lot more benefits. Reggie was originally a homeless man who was offered a free meal on the condition he submitted himself to CIA experiments. He did this and his consciousness was transferred to that of a koala, but unlike Klaus, it's a lot better, I'd argue. In his past life, Reggie arguably had nobody, and no prospects. Like, remember, he only did the CIA thing out of desperation. As a koala, he has a government job, a good job, lots of benefits, a houseboat, great friends, food, and unlike Klaus, because he's not trapped in the house the whole time, he doesn't seem too bothered by what happened. Like, this is probably him living his best life, and I can get that. With Klaus, he was forcibly taken away from his life, even if it ended on a low note considering how he was cheated on, but when you think about it, he still had a life in East Germany, a family who was likely still missing him, all that jazz. He was arguably also something of a celebrity considering how he was an Olympic skier. Like, I'd imagine somebody is missing Klaus, outside of Live and Let Fry. Now, at least at that part of the show, he's stuck in a fishbowl and trapped with a family that doesn't respect him. Really? Why don't Klaus and Reggie ever interact? I don't think they ever do, to be honest. Like, I'm sorry, that would be a great buddy episode. Like, nowadays, Klaus is basically a more destructive Reginald. But anyways, in Family Affair, well, let me play a clip.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl, I know you hear me.
What?
Easy, baby.
Notice how Hayley is giving him the cold shoulder, because that's very important. See, earlier in the season, in Pulling Double Booty, Hayley got broken up with by Jeff. For reasons.
Why the hell did you break up with Hayley?
I don't know. It wasn't just one thing, Mr. S. It was like 2 things.
At least he has his reasons, and he did try, good for him. But I already went over how Hayley goes cuckoo banana cream pie whenever she gets broken up with, to the point where the police made it abundantly clear to Stan that if she goes crazy again, she'll get thrown in prison. And rather than just call her a psychiatrist or deprogram her considering her past trauma with Project Daycare, well, she dated Stan's body double, Bill.
We went on a few dates, and now I don't even see the resemblance to Dad anymore.
Ew! Stan, do something!
And then once Bill, quote, broke up with her because he was trying to pull a bed trick with Francine, Stan posed as Bill so she wouldn't go crazy. Hayley realized at the end of the episode that she tied her breakup feelings towards her feelings of inadequacy in Stan's eyes. And if she couldn't be good for these losers, then maybe her dad was right about her. Maybe he had a reason not to say he loved her. And honestly, I feel like the Oedipus-Electra complex kind of runs in the family considering Stan and Betty. Well, she was able to move past rampaging whenever she was broken up with.
I'm breaking up with you.
Okay.
Aren't you gonna freak out and go on a rampage?
No, I guess not. Huh.
Still, pulling double booty was a grueling ordeal for Hayley, so I can understand why she hasn't exactly dated for a while, and why she tried ignoring Reggie, because maybe from her perspective, he was hitting on her. That's the last thing she would want. Why would you want to get hurt again, especially so soon? Sorry, I just wanted to point out, because I didn't realize until this video that Hayley really did not date anybody during that whole streak. Like, after Jeff breaks up with her in Pulling Double Booty, until Return of the Bling. I don't know if the writers planned this whole arc based on that episode, or if the real-life Jeff Fisher had stuff going on, because regardless, it is pretty good. Speaking of, in Wife Insurance, when Francine tries to get back at Stan for his, quote, little deal with the dentist lady, it's Reginald who tells him to get his crap together.
What's up with Prince Walnuts rubbing lotion on your wife? You better handle your business.
Yeah, guess I gotta break up with Meg Penner tomorrow.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
So yeah, Reggie knows a bit about relationships, and to me that's part of why he started dating Hayley, who weirdly, this is just me, but I am very surprised that Stan was never, quote, introduced to the pair dating, so to speak. Maybe they were afraid it would be a rehash of Pulling Double Booty, or even Bullocks to Stan, where Hayley dates one of his CIA buddies, and then stuff happens, like maybe Stan doesn't approve of it or whatever, but really, what would Stan think about her dating Reginald? I mean, the only reason he was cool with Bill was basically vanity. With Bullock, it was to advance himself. With Reggie, is there really a problem? Or maybe would he find something? Like he's a koala, or there's an age gap, or while Reggie is a good dude, albeit one I think could have been a bit more flawed since sometimes he comes off as too perfect in my eyes, well, it would be cool, even if just as a joke, like, hey Stan, did you know Hayley's dating Reggie? Oh wait, she is? Good for her. But Hayley and Reggie are only really regulated to subplots, not full-on episodes. Like, we don't even get a scene of, say, Hayley at the dinner table with the Smiths and her and Reggie holding hands or something. And you guys know that with American Dad, characters are assigned to plots, so to speak. So their plots tend to be a bit more isolated, and Hayley and Reggie never truly interact with her family besides quick lines. Like, maybe there's a whole episode where she introduces him to the family over dinner, I don't know. Like, in Return to the Bling, it's Steve, Roger, and Stan and they're going to return the Olympic medal by themselves while Hayley and Reggie hang out by themselves. Oh my god, Kitty, do you ever not speak? That's kind of my whole job. Well, you keep saying that you'll get to Return to the Bling, and you never do. You're worse than George R.R. Martin and the Dragons. Just do it already. Okay, jeez, I'll do it already. God. Fine, because Catherine is Catherine, let's talk about Return to the Bling. I know it's what you guys were here for. Somehow, off-screen, Stan and Reggie have become close. So much so that Stan has no problem with Reggie stopping by when he comes home early from missions, which is weirdly nice of Stan, I hate to say. It's also nice to see that Francine is super happy to see Reggie.
Hey, Francine! Give Reggie some sugar.
Hey, Reginald! What are you doing here?
I wish they interacted more. Come on. Francine gets along great with all the non-human characters. Like, this would just be another notch in her belt.
Anyway, these Mother Zeros at the CIA got me running around. I just got back from Tangiers. That is some country-ass country.
Actually, that's a city and a country. Sorry, I like to Google. But it's in Morocco for reference, so take that as you will. Just, you know how I say that Roger has a problem when it comes to being a chatterbox? Well, Reggie has the same problem, and he uses a lot more references.
Dear Reginald, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I really had to go to the bathroom. Love, Francine.
Oh well, at least Franny is aware and polite about it. But this makes me wonder, like, he's done it enough times that she's, like, aware he's gonna do it again, and she had time to write a note? Or maybe she just had it on her, because, again, probably not the first time it's happened. But okay, finally, 18 pages into the script, we get to Hayley and Reggie. Reggie accidentally washed his laundry with Hayley's. Really? Why would you do that? That's gross. Sorry, it's just, like, she don't know you. And he did it wrong.
Oh, yeah, I did. It was no problem. I just threw it in with my jeans.
You shrunk it! I was gonna wear it tonight. I'm going to dinner with my boyfriend Ian.
Two things. One, this introduces Ian, Hayley's boyfriend, who we are just supposed to know. I don't know what's his story, what's his life, what's he's most scared of, all that jazz. And two, well, Hayley, I feel your pain. One time, somebody accidentally washed my Fizzarolli bunny outfit, and the tag said hand wash only. To their credit, they did not know it was in there, and when they found out, they put the wash on delicate, and now it looks all weird. I mean, honestly, it's kind of more Fizz-esque, I can argue, but it's the principle. Still, I can get why Hayley is further angry at Reggie, since when Hayley does scold him, instead of just apologizing, he makes an admittedly kind of sexist comment.
Ian is gonna like that tight on you. Showcase your bits.
What? Dude, how do you not see it? Actually, he probably doesn't, Kitty. Koalas actually have notoriously poor eyesight. Wait, legit? Wait, but is it true that koalas, only 50% of koalas in Queensland, Australia, have chlamydia, Kitty? But Reggie clearly isn't from Australia, albeit maybe his koala body is. In any case, Hayley should be wearing protection. I was not going to ask that. A week passes, and Hayley is still pissed at Reggie, because no offense, dude, you really didn't apologize. Plus, this is just me, but I understand the feeling of wanting to wear something, and then a major disappointment when for one reason or another, you can't wear it. Like maybe the outfit doesn't go or you lost it. It gets even worse when it's because of other people, because then it's harder to fix. To Reggie's credit, he does try to make it up to Hayley, but his idea of making it up to Hayley is taking her to a Shaggy concert. Shaggy! Sorry, it's just how Reggie says it, so I want to feel included.
Me and you are going.
You don't seem to get it. I don't like you.
I want to change that. I want to be your friend. That's why I'm taking you to Shaggy, Hayley.
Okay, I understand this from Reggie's perspective, and yet I also disagree with it. From Reggie's perspective, well, when you want to make it up to someone, you do something they like. Like, I like this, so I want you to like this. Plus, maybe Hayley is mad because he doesn't know her personally, since he's more so friends with Stan and kind of Francine. Maybe if she learned that he's just a nice guy who messed up once, she'll come to his side, especially given episodes like Family Affair. Maybe he thinks like, oh, she's not saying anything because she don't know me. However, I also disagree with this for a couple of reasons. One, Hayley's not mad because he's being too nice. She's mad that he ruined her clothes and did not apologize, or at least said sorry. Reggie, it starts with sorry. Or at least maybe offer to buy her a new dress or something, especially given the short notice. Or maybe refund her for how much it cost. Two, I do think it's a bit of a good idea he's taking her to a concert, since we know from episodes like My Morning Jacket that Hayley likes alternative stuff. But Hayley outright says she doesn't want to go. Maybe if he offered like a band that she liked, I could get that. Or maybe something from a genre she liked, but yeah, she does not like Shaggy.
Look, how about a peace offering? You like music? You like Shaggy? Shaggy!
No.
Yes, you do.
Shaggy! And honestly, if you're going to a concert for a band or a singer that you don't like, well, it's gonna be a really boring concert. Trust me, this has happened to me several times. Plus, it's also gonna be a waste because you basically spent that much money on a ticket. At least he's taking her to a public place, so it wouldn't be that much. Plus, Hayley outright said she did not want to be around him. Why hang around one of her dad's work friends? Especially considering what happened with Bill. To Reggie's credit, he does not know about Bill, but I feel that with Hayley that's also a factor. I think if he just apologized, maybe offered to buy her a new dress or refunded it, she would come around, or at least appreciate the gesture. I mean, Hayley probably wouldn't want to hang out with him since she doesn't know him, but it would probably be a bit more meaningful than what we got. Really, this reminds me of Octavia and Stolas. Just ask what she wants and that would probably accomplish a lot more, or try to talk it out. But Reggie does take Hayley, and for some reason Hayley decides to go, and as expected, she is bored out of her mind. Hayley, I've been there, trust me. Naughty by nature and new kids on the block. But Reggie doesn't notice, or he doesn't take it as an obstacle, so he tries to make small talk.
So I'm trying to give up soda. It is hard, my lord, it is hard.
You know, I tried to do that last summer because they said maybe it was making me more anxious, and then I went to Disney. I had one soda at Crystal Palace because I was tired, and I had a panic attack on Haunted Mansion later that day, no joke. Then I found out like a month later I had ADHD, and that if you're neurodivergent, soda actually is stimulating in a way. And that kind of explained to me why soda is like lifeblood to me. Hayley tries to leave, but a dude bumps into her, and she realizes that even if Reggie doesn't show it, besides his earlier remark, he is a generally nice guy who does care about women and about his friends. And Hayley is his friend now, so he will care about her.
I'm sorry.
Say it so all these nice people can hear you.
I'm sorry.
Wow, no one's ever stood up for me like that before.
OMG, you're lit. And you're cute as a button. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna gush a little bit, but I kept it in check here because I didn't want to seem condescending, but oh my god, Reggie is so cute, and he's a koala. Do you know how rare those are? Why is he a koala of all animals? It's such a good idea, show. I mean, it's better than a goldfish. Who cares about that? Hayley loves what she just saw in a different kind of light from me, because honestly, I, again, 100% see it from her perspective. When I review characters, I try to see it from their end, try to empathize with them. In Bullock's to stand, she confided that her biggest problem with Jeff was his childishness and spinelessness, which would become a problem in episodes like Dungeons and Wagons. She basically wanted a man, so she went in the other direction with Bullock, an authority figure, but Bullock just treated her like an object. When she went after Paco, well, they could have had something. They could have had it all, rolling in the deep. But she let her personal feelings get in the way of their love, so come on, there's no way he's gonna want to be with her after she basically tries to get him removed from the country. And as for Ian, well, as she explains later, he isn't a man, so to speak.
So we're at the restaurant, and Ian plucks a hair out of my head and puts it in the spaghetti to try to get us a free meal.
You dating a boy. What you need to be doing is dating a grown-ass man.
Even if I could see Hayley pulling this exact same stunt. Weirdly, I feel like Reggie is the perfect guy for her in this case. He's the best of both worlds. In all of these situations, Hayley simultaneously wants a man, but she also wants to be the one who wears the pants. She's kind of like Odelia Blade, but I don't know why. With Reggie, he just hits that sweet spot. He cares about her as an equal, and she's on his level. They both like to joke with each other. They get along pretty well, and it's pretty nice. I feel like they could have something. Plus, you can make the argument that as a progressive person, Hayley is both dating a person of color, because that's what Reggie looked like in the flashback, and even though his consciousness is still in there, I'd argue he still technically is. And he was homeless for a period of time, which she never discovers, strangely enough. Imagine her using that to her advantage. Like, could they just not think of any good ideas for Reggie? Why is he only in like 5 episodes? Reggie is actually a surprisingly versatile character. Like, I am getting tons of ideas just writing this script. Like, honestly, if I ever wrote a spec script, it would probably be like a Reggie episode or something. Reggie takes Hayley home, and she tries to thank him for the day by making the night last longer, or at least wish him goodbye. Which again, to his credit, he does try to tell Hayley he doesn't want to take things too far, he just wants to be friends with her. Oh, and also,
Hayley, I'm seeing someone. Look, do I know if it's gonna work out with my lady friend? No, I don't. But I have to respect Rhonda. If I didn't, I'd be just like those boys you run around with down at the schoolyard.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a lie, she's not living in Canada. He literally has a girlfriend named Rhonda. Nice name. I was surprised about that too. I thought he was just lying, no joke. But we do later meet her. Just saying, I can believe the lying aspect. When guys are acting like creeps around me, I will lie and say I'm a lesbian. Except for one creep at day 0 of Kineticon, it actually does work every single time. However, Hayley does tell Reggie that if he ever does change his mind, or if things don't work out with Rhonda, well, her door is always open. Literally, in this case.
But I want you to know 2 things. I sleep with my door unlocked, and this just happened.
I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. It's not just for Roger. The friendship transitions into full-on dating in the episode Cops and Roger. In a really funny way, because they both have to face the facts that they're with other people and they would much rather be with each other. Much like Return to the Bling, Reggie has come back from a CIA mission and his first stopover is the Smith house. This time, Hayley's. Hayley does try to apologize for trying to kiss him and Reggie accepts. But then they make the point they're both dating other people.
How are things with Rhonda?
Oh, she's good. Yeah, she just leased a Ford Focus. She's good.
Hey, well, I'm still seeing Ian.
Oh my god, Joe, who is this Ian mofo? Like, is he the Zodiac Killer? Did he just wander onto the set one day and they gave him an episode? Did he pull a Mr. Peanut Butter? Is it like Dawn from Buffy? I don't know, Ian should come back though. But anyways, Reggie has an idea. They should all go out to Houlihan's.
Oh, we should go to Houlihan's. They got good drinks there. And you can take the glass home and do whatever you want with it. Fill it with M&Ms, put a rose up in there. They don't care, it's your glass!
Reggie has made it my life's mission to go to a Houlihan's because I have never gone and I want to see if that crap about the glass is true. Although I've heard from certain sources, mostly Reddit, that they don't give out free glasses. And the joke probably is that Reggie just steals glass from Houlihan's without even realizing. Which makes me disappointed. I want my own glass to put stuff in. At the restaurant, well, we find that Reggie and Hayley actually have more compatibility than their partners. And their partners notice, especially Rhonda. I'm not sure about Ian. What is his deal?
Yeah, baby, I was looking at that too. Did you bring your Zantac? What, they can't know? It's acid reflux. I mean, you don't take that pill, they're gonna find out soon enough. Rhonda's got acid reflux.
Oh my god, poor Rhonda. Like, I'm sorry, I'm Italian. We all automatically have agita. You're basically born with it. And agita is not good. Like, it's so prevalent we even invented a word for it. Oh, Fongul, I gotta get back to the episode. I'm surprised Rhonda and Ian didn't get together. Like, maybe it turns out they have more compatibility with each other than with their respective partners. Just saying, that would be pretty cool. Anyways, in the movie, after the event, Reggie and Hayley are left alone and...
I can't help but think that we should be together.
I know, but we both have someone else.
They never have to know.
But we'll know.
I think I can live with that.
Oh, screw you, TV. I hate when the TV or the movie or whatever somehow knows what you're doing and likes to rub it in. Like, one time the people around me were fighting when I was just watching Nick at Night, and literally the episode that played while they were fighting was the one where Ross and Rachel have like this giant fight. So literally every episode of Friends, I don't know, Catherine, it was like that one episode. But once again, I feel really bad for Rhonda. Despite Reggie's insistence that he cares about women, I mean, he did defend Hayley's honor. He just lets her lay on the ground and endure her agita.
Gotta lie on my side. I need napkins.
Like, he even made fun of her for having it before. Like, what the hey, dude? Maybe your dress comments weren't so out of place, I feel. As in, like, out of character. Sometime later, Reggie comes to make a book ending, which they even lampshade.
More laundry?
Nah, I finished off your fabric softener, so I bought you a new box.
Oh, at least he's being considerate, I feel. Unlike how he was around Rhonda. Maybe Hayley is the exception. No wonder Rhonda broke up with him. Oh yeah, Rhonda broke up with him. Good for her!
Actually, me and her broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, me and Ian broke up too.
Oh man, it's Heartbreak Hotel up in here!
And Ian broke up with Hayley. Oh no, so you mean they're both alone so they won't be pulling an Ethan Slater? Or I guess an Ariana Grande? And I know so little about Ian as a character that I cannot judge whether or not this was the right choice. Reggie and Hayley decide to go on a date without actually saying it's a date. And well, it turns out that Hayley is a lying liar who lies.
Hello, Ian? Listen, I want to break up.
Again, I don't know Ian well enough to evaluate whether or not this is the right choice. Like, is Hayley just overcome with lust, or is he that boring or something? Like, is he basically just Jeff wearing an Ian mask? From what I can tell, he seems like a decent guy who just didn't gel well with Hayley. I mean, the hair comment aside. No, the thing is, well, I do have one problem with Hayley and Reggie. They have a really great start when it comes to developing their relationship, and then the show just drops it like a hot potato. Literally, in Bully for Steve, they break up. It's like, okay, now we're a couple. Okay, wait, never mind, we're not a couple anymore. And despite the episode ending along the line of maybe they'll get back together, well, they never actually do. Mostly because 100 AD happened shortly after, so Jeff and Hayley marry, and they have been married for pretty much the whole show after this point, so no, they don't get back together. Even during the Lost in Space arc, where Hayley was alone, and she was so desperate she tried dating Snot, despite how disgusting that was if the genders were reversed, well, she never considers Reggie as a possible alternative. Like, that could have been cool. Maybe he comes back since Jeff is no longer in the picture. Maybe Hayley tries to reignite what they had, and Reggie could be like, Hayley, I want to be with you, girl, but you're clearly in a lot of pain and you're grieving. I would be a good friend and I can be a shoulder to cry on, but I'm not a boyfriend. That never happens. People always talk about American Dad having good continuity, and to its credit, considering the Jeff and Space arc, they do, but Reginald and Hayley arguably did not date for that long. Like, it was literally one episode, I feel. Honestly, Brian and Jillian had a way better development of their relationship. I remember thinking that Reggie and Hayley was like a season-long thing, but no, it was just Bully for Steve. That's when they technically become a couple, and that's when they break up. The establishment of their relationship was a lot longer than their actual relationship. And honestly, I've always wondered about this. Like, could they just not think of a good way to extend it? Like, what the hey? Or maybe was this Fox's doing? See, American Dad is its own show, but it's still overseen by a network who has to approve plot lines or ideas. And in the mid-2000s, Fox was beginning to syndicate their cartoons, since many of their cartoons were beginning to have legacy status, I feel. Except The Simpsons. Like, why did they not syndicate it? Do you know? Like, it took so long. And they never really did reruns, so I could never get into The Simpsons as a kid because there was like zero way to watch it. Especially the earlier episodes. It wasn't until it was on FXX that I actually truly got into the show. At least Family Guy and American Dad, I had Hulu. But anyways, one victim of this was King of the Hill. It wasn't just American Dad, so I feel like it's probably more so the network in this case. See, King of the Hill was meant to have a lot more continuity and storylines beyond what we got. Like, apparently Bobby was supposed to go through puberty, or at least his voice was supposed to crack. Or, you know, Bill and Lyoma? One reason they never followed up on that episode was the network did not want them having continuity. Or, you want to know why John Redcorn suddenly forgot the fact he should not sleep with a married woman, or at least sleep with the wife of a friend? Again, blame the network. I wouldn't be surprised if Reggie and Hayley was supposed to go on a bit longer, like maybe an episode or two more, like maybe one where they start working things out as a couple, but they have problems, and then one where they properly break up, but they break up on good terms. But because American Dad was beginning to hit that 100th episode, which in syndication terms is the magic number since now you can rerun it without much fuss, the network probably stepped in and decided, no, you're going too far, stop it right now, and the crew had to comply. Because that's my theory, and if that's true, that really hurts. And it really feels that way. But okay, how do they break up? In an arguably good way that to me shows Hayley's character development. Because she does not rampage or anything, she just accepts it, like, okay. Like, honestly, maybe pulling double booty was meant to lay the groundwork for this episode. Because everything in that episode came full circle. Hayley's character development, her getting back together with Jeff, everything. Or maybe it was just a random episode with no connection to the first, and I'm looking too deeply into it. In Bully for Steve, Reggie comes in and properly asks Hayley out.
Yeah, now I'm on a bigger mission. To ask you out.
Yes! I mean, yeah, sure, whatever.
I get it, you're playing it cool.
Oh, come on, Hayley, we know you're excited. But strangely, you remind me of me. Like, I'd probably scream and be like, and then be like, who cares? I mean, who cares about something like that? However, we get a quick shot that they are incompatible. Or maybe Hayley does like Reggie, but more so in a lustful kind of way, and she's gonna learn that the hard way.
Girl, you did not help me at all there, did you?
Again, this kind of points to me thinking they had more planned, but they were forced to cut it, like maybe some kind of flaw the two were going to develop that they were ignoring until it was too late, since it seems like this scene was going somewhere and then they had to cut it, especially for time. Like Reggie was gonna laugh or something, or make another remark, and Hayley was gonna say something, but it just ends with her smiling. Still, I guess intentional or not, it is pretty good foreshadowing. Later, Reggie and Hayley celebrate by going on a date. Oh cool, at a carnival. Oh god, the most cliche of all dating spots next to a fancy restaurant, but they're having trouble.
Sorry.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta let me on. I'm trying to create a moment with this girl.
I think this is like the only time they showed the downsides of Reggie being a koala. Surprised they never, did this with Klaus. Like, if he wanted to go on a roller coaster with his boys, they would probably make that happen, or be like, "Hey, bro." At the carnival, Hayley runs into an old flame, Jeffrey Fisher.
Jerusalem, trying to track down the inventor of the everything bagel.
I was, but I got this job offer selling glow things, and that's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Jeff, you are lucky I have ADHD because I went on a goose chase myself, an online one. Because the truth is, nobody truly knows who invented the everything bagel, if anyone, or if it was a bunch of different people at the same time. A Newsday article in 1977 noted the everything bagel already existed in Sarsath, New York, yet David Gussin says he coined the term everything bagel in 1980, although he does concede that he probably wasn't the first to invent it. But there have been other people, like Seth Godin, who says he invented it in 1973, Joe Bastianiak, Brandon Steiner, a bunch of other people, but we all enjoy it to this day, so does it really matter where it came from? Yes, it does. Sorry, tangent, I just feel like this would be a really great episode. Like, I could see the TBS era having an episode where Hayley and Jeff drag the family on a quest to find the everything bagel, a la the Illuminati, and they make all of these references, like we crossed out all of these names. And then really Roger was the one who invented it, and that's why a bunch of people kept claiming it was them, when really it was probably just Roger under a different persona. Reggie gets introduced to Jeff, and Reggie realizes, oh crap, karma's come a-knockin'.
But we were about to go on the Ferris wheel.
Oh, that's okay. You two go ahead.
You're the best.
Upstaged by a wily-ass hippie.
Which I do hate how quickly this was done with, but I do feel like this was karma. Remember, Hayley and Reggie broke up with their SOs to date each other, on pretty flimsy reasons. And like I said about cheating, if somebody will break up with somebody for flimsy reasons, well, why do you think they'll stay with you? They could honestly find something petty to break up with you with. Maybe there's a deeper problem with them. Plus, while I do think Hayley and Reggie would work well together as a couple, like Endgame, well, Hayley's initial attraction to Reggie was based on lust, so I could see her lusting after him, getting what she wants, and then realizing like, oh wait, we have nothing in common, or oh wait, I'm in love with a koala, what's wrong with me? Sometime later, Reggie comes into Hayley's room for one final talk, where Hayley is doing pottery.
What a beautiful vase.
It's a Menzies pot.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Wait, what's that? Oh, that's actually cool! How eco-conscious and kind of smart. Hayley says that seeing Jeff stirred up all kinds of feelings, and now she wants time to herself, because she can't just discuss those feelings or realize she probably only sees Jeff because he's new or whatever, and Reggie gives it to her. But he also makes the point,
I'm done pretending. I love you, Hayley. I always have.
Reggie, I had no idea.
No, you didn't.
You didn't overhear his speech to the Ferris wheel operator? What is wrong with you? Wow, you guys really are terrible for each other. No wonder you didn't work out. However, Reggie says that she should take some time for herself, and if she still wants to be with him, well, he'll be there. Really upset they never followed up on this, but okay, that's the end of Reggie and Hayley. But we do have one final Reggie episode to talk about, 100 AD, which coincidentally is also the episode that solidifies Jeff and Hayley as a couple, and Reggie is partially the guy you need to thank for that. I don't think Hayley ever told him thank you. What the heck? With no international missions left to go on, Reggie is stuck as Bullock's limo driver, which sucks because honestly, no reason beyond Reggie and him just don't get along, and Reggie thinks that's below him. Which, I mean, I do kind of get. Reggie gets to go internationally, and now he's stuck driving a limo. Still, the two get in a lot of great banter together.
Reginald, this isn't the way I usually drive to work.
But I'm gonna take my route.
Does your route include the attitude store, where we could stop and get you a new attitude?
I don't think I need to repeat myself when I say it's criminal that Reggie barely appears anymore, if at all, because I would watch a whole episode just between him and Bullock, just like shooting the breeze. Normally, Stan and Bullock kinda have a Hank Hill and Buck Strickland dynamic, and Stan is too straight-laced when it comes to Bullock. Reggie knows Bullock, and he doesn't take crap lying down, so Reggie would be the one to mouth off to him and not get in trouble. Unironically, that would make him the perfect assistant. And I know Reggie hates it, but I love him and his little suit. Oh my god, he's like a Build-A-Bear. One day, while driving Bullock to work, Reggie sees Jeff crying outside the Smith house. Since he got rejected by Hayley, and Stan and Francine made it abundantly clear that he's a loser.
Whoa, you got a limo? Are you rich?
Yeah, Jeff, I'm rich. I'm a millionaire. So I wear this stupid hat and drive this long.
No offense, every rich person needs a hobby, even if it's pretending to be poor for a couple of hours, so I guess Jeff has a point to wonder. Jeff says that Hayley is ignoring him and Reggie, who was in a similar predicament, says the best thing he can do is give her some space and hope she comes around. And for himself, well, the only way to get over someone is to get under someone, so maybe he should find someone.
Alright, I guess I could give Hayley her space.
My man. Now go take a shower. You smell like cheap weed and applesauce.
Jeff tries to take Reggie's advice and give Hayley some space, but his version is to make one final impassioned plea, aka propose to her. And if she doesn't accept, well, he'll realize that she's serious and leave her be. Of course, you all know the rest of the episode. Jeff and Hayley run away to elope, Stan offers 50 grand to whoever can stop the wedding, and we get a bunch of side quests of characters trying to find Jeff and Hayley and get the money. Among them, Bullock and Reggie. But kinda like Roger, Steve, and Klaus, they get derailed, so technically nothing comes of this. It is nice to see they are doing something, but you know what I mean. Reggie hears that his advice worked a little too well, and he decides to stop the wedding. But he forgets that this week, he's a limo driver, and he apparently had no clue that Hayley is the CIA bicycle. Since even Bullock took a ride on her, literally. And Bullock is a vulgar man, so he will sing the Skylar Grey song at the top of his head for all to hear, because that's a very catchy song. Skylar is a very good songwriter.
Change your plans. I'm going after the woman of my dreams. Hayley Smith.
Hayley Smith? Oh, I had a thing with her one summer.
What?
They stop, and Reggie decides to fight Bullock in a field, which I don't think it's him being pissed that Bullock slept with Hayley, just his treatment by Bullock. Like, he was so fed up that this was the final straw.
What are you doing?
Capoeira, bitch! That's Brazilian dance fighting. I'm trained. Ah! Oh, I guess we started.
Let me guess, you only know Capoeira because you watched that one episode of Bob's Burgers and potentially the sequel episode where Gyro came back, right? That's how I knew it existed. The fight itself is actually kind of impressive, but it ends in a draw. But while that does happen, I do have some thoughts. Now that I think about it, it's strange that Stan never thinks to offer either or as potential boy toys for Hayley. Like, I hate to admit it, I'm sure Stan would rather have her be with Reggie or even Bullock over Jeff, because at least they're both stable, and he knows the both of them personally. The fight ends in a draw and a bleeped out confession from Bullock, which I hear actually isn't all that bad and probably shouldn't be bleeped.
Are you ready to apologize?
To the maids at the Red Roof Inn who had to clean the curtains after I...
If I don't have the clip, literally, he just said that he feels upset the maid had to clean the curtains, which can imply anything, but honestly really isn't bleep-worthy. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why they censored it. Is it because Fox was kind of censor-heavy back then? Is it because they always intended to bleep it to make it funnier? So maybe they just needed a placeholder, or Patrick Stewart, like, ad-libbed something? Because I think the Cleveland show did this funnier with Junior. But Reggie gets the last laugh by promising to Mama Krabs this whole situation.
You have a mother, and you just said all that. I'm gonna call your mama and tell her what you said.
Don't.
See? Me recapping Bullock's to Stan went somewhere! Well, Kitty, it just feels like you wanted to lengthen this video. Might I even dare say it? It was filler! Shut up, girlfriend, you don't know what you're talking about. And for now, that's Reggie and Hayley. Honestly, I do wish they were developed a bit more, but I do like their chemistry and I like them on screen. Heck, I wish they showed Reggie more. You all heard this, you saw the video, but I could always make another video on Reggie. Until then, go watch Lydia Loves Timelines. I think she did a video on Reggie. Anyhow, bye.